feel like we're besties now after this. What's up, guys? It's Denise Salcedo. What's up, everyone? It's Denise. How's it going? Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. It is the official first episode of 2022 for Speak Now, and I am very excited that it was a good episode for the most part. I think probably one of the best episodes we've had for this new era of NXT 2.0. And I am talking about NXT New Year's Evo. We had a lot of pretty great wrestling here tonight, which we're going to talk about. A really fun opening match, an amazing main event that I cannot wait to talk about. We got a brand new NXT champion. We kind of got a lot to get into here today, so I can't wait to get started. But before I do want to welcome you guys all here to the post show. Thank you guys so much, as always, for checking out the show, coming back on here, wanting to chat NXT, etc., all that good stuff. Additionally, if you guys are here, please make sure to take part in the chat. You are more than welcome to send in your thoughts, send in your opinions on the show, and we're going to go ahead and talk about all of that here today. Also, if you guys do want to send over a super chat, you are more than welcome to. Super chats. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk anymore, guys. It's the first show. Super chats are the best way to get your comments read on the air. So if you do send them in, they help me out a whole lot. But let's go ahead and jump into the show, everybody. So much to talk about here today. All right, so let's see. What did you guys think of NXT overall? Go ahead and let me know in the comments. Let's get some opinions, because for the most part, I honestly feel that this one just had a lot of really good stuff. So for me, it kind of felt like it was a good way to kick off the year. And I kind of feel more positive, more hopeful about the NXT 2.0 brand, especially after today, just because they did put a lot of good effort into this show. So I'm very happy about what we saw here today. But let's go ahead and see what we got here. We got our first super chat of the day. Shout out to Brandon Rosen, who says, thought the show was great overall. For me, Hayes versus Strong was the match that stole the show, and I'm happy to see Braun Breaker finally become champ. So we had, like I said, a really strong opener and a really strong main event. I really enjoyed the opening match, and I kind of thought that was going to be my favorite match of the night. But as the main event progressed, I ended up liking it even more as it went on. So for me, the main event was match of the night. But if your match of the night was the opening match, I can't necessarily argue with you on that one, because that one was a really good matchup as well. So thank you so much to Brandon Rosen for sending over that super chat. I really appreciate it. We got a comment here from Devin, who says that this was probably the best NXT 2.0 he's seen. Aside from the Chase Wagner stuff, it was a great show. I completely agreed. And even that was like not even one of the worst things we've seen. So it was like passable, I guess you can say. Patrick Spears sends in a comment saying, love the show. Great night for NXT here today. I really, really do think so. Crazy Shem says, Denise out here trying to traumatize people on Twitter with that Walter T. Goddamn, girl, I don't want to play no kind of drinking game with you. The things you come up with. So if you are not a follower on my Twitter account, you should be a follower on my Twitter account. I literally posted this tweet that basically said that whatever your battery percentage was, that was the amount of times that you would get chopped by Walter. And I practically killed off the entire IWC. The entire IWC is pretty much dead at this point. Why? Because everybody got killed by chops from Walter. Pretty much anybody that isn't at 0 or 1% is pretty much screwed. But let's go ahead and get into this night, guys, because there is a lot of good stuff to talk about here today, and I can't wait to talk about it all. All right, let's do this, guys. Here we go. The opening match, which some people can argue was match of the night, and it was the unification match, which we were seeing Carmelo Hayes, the NXT North American champion, taking on Roderick Strong of the Diamond Mine, who is the NXT Cruiserweight champion, and this was a title unification match. We do have a super chat from Jordan Bailey. Thank you so much to Jordan, who says Carmelo Hayes versus Roderick Strong was awesome. Awesome indeed, dude. Awesome indeed. Let's talk about why this match was really good. So first and foremost, Carmelo Hayes is the guy that, or one of the guys rather, that Shawn Michaels has been pretty invested in. For the most part, like I think it was like I don't know if it was in an interview or something, a report. It wasn't my interview, but we did talk about it because I already knew that Shawn Michaels was a big fan of Carmelo Hayes, and we did talk about that in our interview. But I already knew that going into the interview with Shawn Michaels about Carmelo Hayes necessarily being one of his favorites. And so we got to see a lot of Carmelo Hayes during the NXT Breakout Tournament. During that tournament was really when he, came to be. And then after that, we saw him actually win the NXT North American Championship. And even though we saw glimpses of how good he was at the breakout tournament, I don't necessarily think we saw it to the level that we saw it here tonight with Roderick Strong. Like, this was by far his best match that he has had in NXT. And to me, I kind of saw this as a test for him, because we talk about all of the greats, all of the people who have held the NXT North American Championship in the past. And obviously that was an old era and we're into this new era, but regardless, you don't necessarily want to bring the championship down. In my opinion, even though this is a different era, if I'm champion, I want to still bring my very best, and I want to bring honor to the bout, and I want to make sure that, I hold up what people expect from an NXT North American champion. And so this is why I saw this match as a test for Carmelo Hayes. If he went out there and, had a nice breakout performance, I think that the fans were really going to get behind him, even more so than probably some of the fans already are. But now I honestly feel that Carmelo Hayes exceeded my expectations during this match, because he really, really went out there and he didn't just put out his A game. I think he put out his A+ game. And on top of that, you got to give kudos to Roderick Strong, because obviously Roderick Strong is somebody who is vastly more experienced than Carmelo Hayes. He's had a longer history on NXT. We've seen him do some incredible things on the brand. And so this was probably the best example of what I think, a lot of people have been criticizing the new direction of NXT 2.0, granted, because we are seeing a lot of greener talent. We're seeing a lot of people that are, not necessarily all of that experience. So with that being said, I think a lot of us kind of wanted to see, like, okay, if this is the new direction that they're going in, we want to still see a good caliber type matches of, good caliber wrestling, right? And this was the perfect mix of that. I think this was the perfect mix of both worlds, because you had Roderick Strong, who's from the black and gold era of NXT, and then you have Carmelo Hayes, who's from the NXT 2.0 era. And so you have both of these guys coming in together into this match, and Roderick Strong really going out there to help make Carmelo Hayes look good, to really put him over as well. And Carmelo Hayes, given, like, obviously he's less experienced than Roderick Strong, but he isn't so, he's not necessarily that much of a noob, where he's actually doing pretty well. So to have both of those worlds sort of collide in this match, to me, was a perfect mix and a perfect balance. And if this is the direction that, obviously this is the direction that we're already going in with NXT. If this is what we continue to see, then there is, more hope, I think, for NXT 2.0 in the horizon. If you mix it in with guys that know what they're doing and guys who are on the precipice of knowing what they're doing. And Carmelo Hayes, I don't want to take absolutely anything away from him during this match, because he did phenomenal work. We have a super chat from Taylor Cannon. Thank you so much to Taylor, who says, "Happy New Year, Denise. I'm a fan of Braun Breaker. The match with Ciampa was awesome. I enjoyed Hayes versus Strong a lot also." Like I said, this was a really good opener, good main event, and we'll talk about also, everything else that happened in between, but really good stuff. Thank you so much to Taylor for sending in the super chat. Okay, so then on top of this, let's talk a little bit about why this match was actually good and what actually happened here. So first and foremost, I like that the second they got into this, like, this match sped up. This was a good pace. Unfortunately, a lot of the recent stuff that Roderick Strong has been doing on NXT necessarily hasn't been my cup of tea, but this definitely was my cup of tea. I feel like they got right into it. They got down to business. Immediately, you saw Carmelo Hayes, executing all of these, fast-paced maneuvers. You saw him, doing a lot of, he had a really nice and secure kick. You saw him really show his aerial abilities as well as his strikes, which I really enjoyed seeing that. Like, there was a moment where he kicks he kicks Roderick Strong in the back of the head, literally just like it was a really nice visual of that, and I kind of marked out for that. So I really like that. I like the DDT that he did to Roderick Strong on the outside. So again, a perfect mixture of both worlds of the two eras of NXT, at least the two recent eras of NXT. I like this. Congratulations to Carmelo Hayes. This was definitely a win, and I think that fans are going to be trusting him now a little bit more as champion. We got a super chat from Lake. Thank you so much to Lake, who sends in a super chat saying, "Rip NXT Cruiserweight division. I particularly love the matches between Lio Rush and Angel Garza. I loved everything that we saw Santos Escobar do with the bell. I think that he was probably to me, he was my last favorite champion, the best champion, I think, the last, like, of the latest ones. Santos Escobar, I think, did a phenomenal job with the championship bout, and I was kind of hoping we would end up seeing him go from the Cruiserweight to the NXT North American title, but obviously things change. But either way, rip to the NXT Cruiserweight division there. Thank you so much to Lake for sending in this super chat. And we pretty much got a lot of people putting over Carmelo Hayes, which I think is rightfully so. We got a comment here from Patrick Spear, who says the Avalanche Plex was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. That move was just amazing. Devin points out that Roderick Strong was a perfect opponent for Carmelo in this position. I definitely agree with that as well. And this is a comment from Justin, who says that Roderick is a consummate professional here, and Carmelo's a star on the rise and got off the show to a good start. It really, really did set the tone. I think this is the tone that they needed to set, and it's the tone that they set. So good stuff there. If you did not watch the show, please go out of your way to watch this opening match. I think it is good stuff, and I think that if you've been hesitant on checking out the NXT 2.0 brand, at least this might give you a little bit of hope or a little bit of pleasure and satisfaction. They had an announcement. We are officially getting the return of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. So it is beginning in 2 weeks. They're going to be doing the men's and the women's. And from the looks of it, the women's will be beginning in February, I believe. So I may have gotten the start times wrong, but I'm pretty sure the men's is in 2 weeks, and 2 weeks is still January. And then the women will be in February. So probably start like a week or two after the men's. So we'll see about that. So that'll be fun. That'll be some stuff to look forward to. Let's get into this. So we finally have AJ Styles and Grayson Waller's face-off. So to be honest, guys, I didn't necessarily think that this was like the hottest exchange between Grayson Waller and AJ Styles. I think that their first exchange on NXT was probably a little bit better than this. It was very generic, and but let's go ahead and talk about it though. So AJ Styles kicks off this promo, and obviously the CWC is all chanting for AJ Styles, chanting his name. Really feel good moment just to be like, yay, AJ Styles. He talks about how he'd never been in NXT, never wrestled a match on NXT. He talks about how when he came into WWE, he made his debut at the Royal Rumble. He went straight to WrestleMania, was on the main roster, etc. And then he said, but there's always something about this place in NXT. There's this passion that I've never, really been able to be a part of, but the passion has always been there from the fans, from the wrestlers, etc. So kind of talking about how he wants to take part in this. And I'm thinking to myself, like, where is AJ Styles going with it? For a split second, guys, I thought that AJ Styles was going to announce that he was going to be, appearing on NXT more often. Like, I kid you not. For a second, I thought they were going to go that direction just based off of the verbiage that he was using in this promo. I thought, really? Are they going to have him maybe on both brands? I don't know. I didn't really know where this was going. And given what they've been doing with AJ Styles and Omos, I thought, well, at this point, I guess I'll take anything. But anyways, that's not where we ended up going, which is good. But anyways, we had Grayson Waller coming out, and Grayson Waller basically, he comes out. AJ Styles tells him, let's do a match here tonight. I got my gear. Let's do this. And Grayson Waller basically says, no, this is not Phenomenal time. We are on Grayson Waller time. And this match is then made for next week. So next week, we are officially getting Grayson Waller versus AJ Styles. So we'll see how this plays out. The way I see it is okay, AJ Styles is a big name. So you want to promote this show. cool. Get somebody like AJ Styles that might have convinced a couple of people to check out this show. So I didn't mind it whatsoever. Any thoughts, guys? How did you guys feel about AJ Styles, Grayson Waller's exchange here tonight? And what are your thoughts on the upcoming match next week? Let's go ahead and see if we got some comments here on this. Let's see. Let's get some good comments here. Walter Johnson says AJ Styles pulling double duty on Raw and NXT. I mean, you might as well, right? I feel like right now they need to do anything that they can to get people's interest back in NXT. Like, you really need to, like, I don't know, man, break some rules, man. Like, don't follow like this steady like plan. Like, I feel like so much of what we see on NXT is like what's expected, and what's making NXT 2.0 a little bit more exciting is the unexpected. We weren't expecting to see Matt Riddle. We weren't expecting really to see Walter. We weren't expecting to see AJ Styles. Like, all this stuff that's unexpected is what's making the show, something to actually check out. I feel like they need to break the rules and really just add a little bit more to the show to get more interest there. All right, guys, let's continue on. So speaking of Matt Riddle and Matt Riddle, I was going to say, speaking of Matt Riddle and Matt Riddle, speaking of Matt Riddle and Walter, who officially killed off all the IWC, thanks to my tweet, we got Imperium versus MSK and Matt Riddle. And let me tell you guys something. This match was a whole lot of fun. This match was fun as hell. This was really entertaining, and the reason for that is we essentially, when you look at the people in this match, I think you have a vision of what this match could be, right? You're like, okay, I want to see, a bunch of spots with the MSK. I want to see Walter, chop some people. I want to see Imperium, bring in their aggression. I want to see Matt Riddle do all of his strikes and a bunch of cool stuff like that. Well, that's exactly what we got. We got MSK essentially doing all of their high spots, which were, really entertaining. There was even a moment during this match where you had both members of the MSK on the ring post, and then you had Matt Riddle like in the center, but they both ended up doing like at the same time. They both timed their spots out to do it at the exact same time onto the outside. Like, that was really fun. That was really enjoyable. So that's what you got from the MSK part of it. Matt Riddle, there was this moment where, and obviously that's what people really wanted to see in this match, was the interaction between Matt Riddle and Walter. Like, people wanted it. You had half the crowd chanting for Matt Riddle, and you had half the crowd chanting for Walter. And then you finally have this like face-off. But what I loved about this face-off, the initial face-off between Matt Riddle and Walter, is that the second Matt Riddle got in there, he just went straight for it, man. Like, you got literally Walter's chest, and Matt Riddle's just like kicking him and kicking him and kicking him on the chest, and Walter does not move. The man is like a brick wall, does not move. And Matt Riddle, has this strategic plan of like trying to take the big guy down with all of these strikes and all of these kicks to the chest, and does not bring him down. Then Walter literally gets him with one chop, and Matt Riddle is down. He is down and out. Like, that was very entertaining to see, and obviously we saw more of that as this match progressed. Let's see what else we got here. I'm trying to think of some more spots that I really liked. I think what I personally liked about this is that they really just kept the action going, like, back and forth. In the end, like, we do see a Riddle suplex Walter, which was really cool because, Walter's a big guy, and he's not big. He's not just big. He's also tall. So seeing Walter like do that, not Walter, seeing Matt Riddle do that suplex on Walter and then getting that really nice bridge work was very entertaining. In the end, we see Riddle hit the RKO and get the win. This was a fun match, guys. Seriously, if you did not watch NXT, I would check out this match too, because this one was really fun too. All right, guys, let's get some thoughts. How did you guys feel about the 6-man? How did you feel about Walter, the interactions with him and Matt Riddle? Let's get some thoughts in here. This one is from Ed Pumps. Ed Pump says, this was the only reason I watched NXT this week. Thanks for watching it so I don't. And it delivered great high spots, hot tags, great heel work, great false finishes. Overall, this was a win. Yep, I completely agree with everything in this statement. Completely agree. Zeno Hour says, The 6-man tag match was so much fun, just nonstop action. Riddle and Walter had great chemistry. Also, the MSK Riddle theme remix. You know what? I don't think I listened to it that much. I think that sometimes guys, I tend to mute certain parts of the show. Usually that happens to be like when they do replays, and sometimes entrances I'm not always paying attention because I have to do my notes or tweeting or something. So I don't think I really listen to that as much, but I'll take your word for it. Michael Jefferson sends in a comment saying Walter has that final boss feel to him, similar to Reigns and Lesnar. I hope he sticks around because he's great and such a joy to watch. Hope he's in the Royal Rumble. I want to see Walter come out and just chop the living shit out of everybody in the Royal Rumble. Like you know what? Johnny Knoxville, he wants to make an impression, wants to get some PR buzz, get some publicity for Jackass or whatever the hell they're promoting. Damn, take a chop from Walter, bro. Take a chop from Walter. I think that would be very, very entertaining to see. Let's see what else we got here. Let's go through a couple more comments, and this one's from Justin, who says, these two trios are completely opposite personality-wise, but their styles mesh together so well. Really exciting, hard-hitting match. Completely agree. Mandy Rodriguez says this match was incredible. Jordan Bailey says, hope to see MSK and Riddle be a faction on the main roster one day. Dude, honestly, MSK on the main roster would add so much. And let's not even talk about the slim options for tag teams. We definitely need a lot more tag teams. So, yeah, I'm here for that. Completely here for that. All right, let's go ahead and continue on, guys, because we still got so much more to talk about. Before I do, friendly reminder, everybody, that I am live Wednesdays. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. Tuesdays for NXT. So if you guys do want weekly NXT coverage, you can come here. I get straight to the point. I talk about what happened, what was good, what was okay, what was bad. I get straight to the point. So make sure you guys come in to talk about NXT. Wednesdays, I am live to talk about AEW Dynamite. That is my most popular show of the week. There's always plenty to discuss. And then Fridays, I am live to talk SmackDown and Rampage. Those have been pretty hot shows as well, especially because I think unexpected stuff always happens on Fridays. I feel like Fridays kind of fool us. Like we go in thinking it's going to be a chill day, and then all of a sudden something happens and you're just like, oh, damn, I got lots to talk about today. So Fridays turn out to not be as chill as expected. Also, this Saturday, I'm going to be doing a bonus stream for everybody. So Friday night, Sunday, I'm going to be doing a bonus stream for everybody. So Saturday night, we do have AEW Battle of the Belts, but I will not be going live immediately after AEW Battle of the Belts. Instead, I'm going to be going live the following day. The following day, I will be here on Sunday to talk about AEW Battle of the Belts. And I will also be talking about Wrestle Kingdom Day 3. So that's going to be very exciting. So make sure you guys come in for that. But now, let's go ahead and get into this. Let's talk about Electro Lopez, because I'm very curious as to how you guys feel about this one. I don't know what I should feel. Electro Lopez, she's being interviewed by Mackenzie Mitchell, and Mackenzie basically asked her, like, what's the 411 with you and Zion Quinn? What is happening? So Electra Lopez basically says, like, wouldn't you like to know, right? So she doesn't answer the question. She just tells Mackenzie that she's in love with success and that's what she likes. And then she says that next week we are going to be having a match between Zion Quinn and Santos Escobar. But get this, the winner of that match will leave with Electra Lopez. Now, this is weird, all right? This is totally weird, and it really doesn't make sense to me. It does not make sense whatsoever, okay? Why? Because the way that it sounds, okay, the way that they're making this match seem, it's like, okay, whoever wins this match gets to go with Electra Lopez, gets to leave with Electra Lopez. But Santos Escobar, from what we've been watching on the shows, is not in love with Electra Lopez. I feel like he sees her more like a sister. She's family. How many times don't you see Legado del Fantasma and they're talking about family? To me, it doesn't make sense. Like, why would he want to win, like, I get what they're trying to say, like, oh, she's going to pick him. But why would he want her if she's putting up this match between Zion Quinn and Santos Escobar? It doesn't make sense. Then, on the other hand, you have Zion Quinn and Electro Lopez's relationship. And from the looks of it, Zion Quinn has never technically shared the same feelings that Electro Lopez may even have. Like, we don't even know for sure if Electro Lopez has the hots for Zion Quinn. She could be playing him. From the looks of it, he's playing her. They're both playing each other. So I feel like I thought this love story was going to go a certain direction. And now instead, it all got mixed into a whole other direction. I feel like I thought I understood what was happening. And now I do not understand what is happening here. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why? Why are we having this match and the winner leaving with her? It's never been official that her and Zion Quinn are an item. This doesn't make sense to me. Can someone please explain this to me? Legitimately. Okay, let's see what people are saying here. Someone says they can't remember who Quinn is. Zion Quinn is the guy that comes out and looks at Electro Lopez and is like, ooh, and then he ends up kind of like backstabbing her, and he's kind of been treating her like crap too. Like, he hasn't been like, this ain't no index stuff. This isn't Indy Hartwell, Dexter Lumis. Like, Indy Hartwell, we knew right off the bat, okay, she was in love with him, and Dexter Lumis was a creep, but he was in love with her too. You knew what both of these people felt. We're not that sure with Zion Quinn and Electro Lopez. Really. Amanda Rodriguez says, what the what? This doesn't make any sense at all, not one bit. I know, because the way that they started this off, they made it seem like Electro Lopez was playing Zion Quinn, and then you weren't so sure if she wasn't. Like, you didn't really know her agenda. So why would Zion Quinn, here's my question, why would Zion Quinn agree to this in the first? I mean, he hasn't technically agreed, but they promoted the match so that we assume that he agreed. Why would he want Electro Lopez? He hasn't necessarily said that he wants her. Okay, I'm clearly thinking about this way too much. Cameron Mumford says, telenovela vibes. Guess that's what they want us to believe. It doesn't make sense since it's clear Santos sees Electra as a love interest. Wait, no. Santos doesn't see Electra as a love interest. No. He's never seen her as a love interest. I have seen plenty of romance movies and plenty of romance, read plenty of romance books, and Santos Escobar not once made it seem like he was in love with Electro Lopez. He literally treated her like family. And in telenovelas, you know who loves who. I'm confused. Oh, God. Let's see what Pile Driver Finisher says, in telenovelas, we still need the other woman to pop out. Yeah, there needs to be like there needs to be more. Crazy Shem says, Denise, your face is priceless. Yes, it's confusing for real. Our boy's a side piece to all this nonsense. It's great. I wish Santos all the best. Oh my God. Cadillac Carson says the egg will make a run in and Lopez leaves with the egg. Lopez, I mean, yeah, okay. I don't know anymore, guys. I legitimately do not know. Matt Kensley says, I think you put more thought into it than WWE have. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense. It does not. This story doesn't make sense to me anymore. Like, I thought it was for a second, and I thought that I had even figured it out, but now I'm out. I don't know. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and move on. We got the triple threat match, the women's NXT Women's Championship match. We got Mandy Rose coming in a helicopter, and she is defending against the oh-so-young Cora Jade and the former NXT champion Raquel Gonzalez. So this was interesting because my original prediction was that Raquel Gonzalez was going to take the pin and that it was going to be either Mandy Rose or Cora Jade winning. Now, we did get Mandy Rose retaining her championship, so I'll start off by that. But I don't necessarily think that she won in the way that I would have expected her to win. And I was based on the story that they've been telling with Cora Jade, that she kind of seizes an opportunity and it makes the best of like certain timing and where she's at. So I thought that Cora Jade was going to like surprisingly get the win here, and they teased it. They teased it in the finish. They teased it. They made it seem like Cora Jade was because they essentially had Raquel, pretty much take out Mandy Rose and pretty much leave her down to nothing. And Cora Jade comes in, and Mandy Rose is, trying to get to her feet, and Cora's standing behind her, and I'm thinking, oh, this is exactly what I predicted. Cora is going to utilize this opportunity, and she's going to get a quick victory just like that, kind of like a fluke win. But then instead we had her, when she took a beat too long. And I knew this wasn't how it was going to end because she just took too long to get to Mandy Rose. So she finally gets to Mandy Rose. She rolls her up. She tries to get the win, but it doesn't work out that way. And instead, she basically, Mandy Rose turns it around and gets Cora Jade and ends up pinning Cora Jade. And so the way that it happened was really, really like the timing was off and it was a little bit sloppy for the finish, but the match itself was like good. The match itself was perfectly fine, but the finish was just a little bit weird. It didn't feel like, it felt like Mandy Rose kind of just escaped with it. So I know that's a story that they were probably trying to tell, like, okay, Mandy Rose just escapes with it, but it didn't come across perfectly executed in the last couple moments of this match. But either way, there were some decent moments in this. I enjoyed seeing, Mandy Rose going in there, holding her ground. Same thing with Cora Jade. Cora Jade really held her own during this match. A lot of this was Raquel pretty much doing a lot of the heavy lifting. There was a moment where she literally lifted both women over her head. That was pretty impressive. Her even tossing out Cora Jade to the outside was impressive too. But that was pretty much it. And I also think that the crowd was kind of hoping to see Cora Jade get the win. I think for the most part, a lot of people expected for this to be Cora Jade's moment. So I was a little surprised too that it wasn't Cora Jade. I don't know why. I kind of felt they were going that way. We got a super chat from Cameron Mumford. Thank you so much to Cameron, who says, I meant doesn't see her as a love interest. Oh, sorry, Cameron. My bad. Thank you for sending in a super chat and correcting yourself. I'm going to start reading the polar opposite of everyone's comment, just to promote my super chats. Sorry, Cameron. But thank you so much for sending this in. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get some more comments. This one's from Mohamed, who says, Cora not winning the match was dumb booking. I wouldn't say it was dumb booking, but we got people kind of upset here. We got Defin Ray, who says that Cora Jade was robbed. So clearly people were expecting Cora Jade, and legitimately based on how they were showing Cora Jade get wins in the past, I think we were expecting her to continue on that trajectory, but that did not end up happening. Mac Hensley says, I like this more than I felt I should have. It was by no means perfect, and Cora obviously needs more work, but I was pretty into this match. I was expected Mandy to win, but Pin surprised me. Yep, I feel you, man. I feel you. Bobby Monaghan says that he thinks Raquel Gonzalez is going to be in the is going to be at the Royal Rumble. They're going to need people like Raquel Gonzalez for sure. I would predict, you know what? Let's do a couple of quick predictions here on who of the women we might be seeing from NXT over on the Rumble. I think some shouts. I would like to see Cora Jade. Definitely Cora Jade, Dakota Kai. I almost feel like they could literally do practically all the women because they need the spots. But for sure, Cora Jade, for sure, Dakota Kai would be good to see. Indy Hartwell, she should be one as well. Ivy Nile should get like a quick spot. Io Shirai would be good too. Casey Catanzaro to have like a really fun little like agile spot. Kaylee Ray would be good as well. Have her go in there. Kaden Carter, pretty much everybody. We already mentioned Raquel Gonzalez. Let's see. Yeah, honestly, those would all be, I think, some like nice faces to get, a little shining moment over on the Rumble. We got a super chat from Brandon Rosen. Thank you so much to Brandon, who says, I can easily see Mandy going on a long title run. I don't think Cora Jade is ready to be at that level yet. She has a lot of room to grow. I think so too. I think she has a lot of room to grow. Legitimately, the only reason why I thought that she was going to get the win was the way that they've been booking her and the way that they've had her pick up wins. That's really the only reason I thought that she was going to win. But Mandy Rose is doing a phenomenal job as champion. Jordan Bailey says, I think it was just me overthinking when Cora threw Raquel over the top rope. She kind of had this heelish smile. That's what I was thinking. I didn't notice it. So I can't even probably comment on that because I legitimately did not notice. All right. This is from TwitchFace4, who says, it's too soon for Cora to win. She needs a longer journey towards her eventual win like Bailey and Sami Zayn had. Zeno Hour says, a little surprised Cora took the pin, but it makes sense. We'll probably get Mandy versus Raquel one more time before Raquel gets called up. Yep, we'll see. And all right, let's go ahead and move on from this here. Let's see, what do we got from after this? We got a quick Boa promo, everybody. Well, not a promo, a vignette. We got a quick little video. So Boa, okay, and I think I saw this right, okay? So pardon me if I got this incorrect, but Boa is essentially asking the 1,100-year-old woman, whatever, he's asking for permission to have this match with Solo Sikoa. But then afterwards, we see an image of Boa with all of like the face paint. So it's like one moment it's the woman, and then the other moment, the other moment it's Boa. So that's what happened. I haven't. This has been the storyline that I never followed. This was the storyline that I never paid attention to. So I just feel like, okay, cool. I don't know what else to say. Nothing else to add to that. Matt Kinsley says, Boa is the thing that makes me click mute, so I didn't pay attention. Well, clearly, neither did I. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this Andre Chase Von Wagner situation. All right, where do we get into with all of this? Dang. Okay, so this is the problem here with the Andre Chase Von Wagner situation. These are two guys that aren't really fan favorites. However, this made Andre Chase more of a fan favorite because Von Wagner is even less of a fan favorite. The fans have not gone behind Von Wagner, and I don't necessarily blame them, okay? Like, I haven't been the biggest, advocate for Von Wagner. Sorry, Von. But it just hasn't really been there just yet. Like, it hasn't gotten there. However, with that being said, this was the worst and the best thing we've seen from Von Wagner. So let me explain what I mean by that. So first and foremost, we had Andre Chase coming out. Andre Chase comes out, and this was kind of funny. So he basically, he recognizes his student that almost got thrown off a building last week by Harland. He recognizes him and basically says that he is the first person to get an Andre Chase University full scholarship. So all his students are in the crowd, and they're all cheering, and they're so happy, and oh my God, it's a pep rally. And okay, I laughed. I laughed when the guy got the full scholarship. I was like, all right, this is funny. I cackled a little bit. And then Von Wagner comes out, and he gets massive boos. And he's not getting the boos that Grayson Waller is getting. Like, Grayson Waller is getting the boos because he's a heel, and he's annoying, and he's a jerk, right? That's what he's supposed to be. Great. He's doing his job. Von Wagner is getting the boos of, not this guy. So this is I do feel bad for him in this situation because he cuts a promo, and this promo was not good. He basically says that, he addresses the fans, and he addresses how the fans do not like him. And he basically says that even though the fans don't like him, that when he steps into the ring, he becomes everybody's favorite. So I was like, what? This doesn't make sense. And then he continued on by saying that he only needs to be liked by the people that matter. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, that makes sense. But the delivery of this was not good at all. It was really, really bad delivery. It was not great. I couldn't buy when he was basically implying that when he's in the ring, he's so good that the fans become a fan of him, I couldn't buy it. I could not buy it whatsoever. Him and Kyle O'Reilly literally were in the worst steel cage match I've ever seen. I could not buy this whatsoever. So I wasn't a fan of this portion of Von Wagner. But then this is the part I did like from Von Wagner. So he ends up snapping. He ends up going all on Antonio Brown and he goes crazy and he just snaps. He goes mad, okay? And he takes out Andre Chase. But after that, he goes into like the crowd area and he takes out some of the students from Andre Chase. He takes out some quote unquote the fans. He just starts going mad and he starts attacking people and the security's running in and they're all trying to like get him to stop, but he's being so violent and he's just tossing bodies. And I'm like, all right, I could get behind that. Big guy tossing bodies. I'm here for that. So I did like that portion of this. So I would say less talking for Von Wagner and more brutality from Von Wagner. That is what's going to help him. More brutality, less talking. Get somebody else to talk for him. I don't know, put him in Diamond Mine at this point. Have Malcolm Bivens talk for him. Anybody, somebody else, because the talking is just not there. So I did like that portion of it. That was probably the bright light in all of this. This is the bright spot in all of this. All right, guys, how did you feel about this? Go ahead and send in some thoughts here. Let's get some comments here. This one's from Jordan who says, I didn't care about Andre Chase before NXT 2.0. Now with his gimmick on 2.0, I just can't wait to see his segments. See, I don't feel like that every week. Like, I think when he first started doing those university segments when he's in the class, I liked it. Like, I liked the first one. I thought the first one was funny. And then for me, it just went downhill. And then it came back up today again. I like this. So, we got us. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. We got some more comments. This one's from Daniel Rodriguez who says, Andre Chase is comedy heel that can get people to hate him and he has the best catchphrase. This is a teachable moment. Sometimes I like it. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I guess it depends on what mood I'm in personally. Like, I think today I tolerated this a lot more because I was enjoying the show. Like, if I'm enjoying the most of the show and there's like one bad segment or one not so great segment, I think I can tolerate it a little bit more than when the show's not good and we get more bad segments. Then that's when I don't, feel it. But I think I felt it for like, this was fine. Mike New York says, where's LA Knight been? I don't know. Well, actually, we saw him last week, didn't we? I'm pretty sure we did. We saw something with him. I just know it. All right. Let's go ahead and continue on, guys. We got two more things to talk about. Before I do, friendly reminder, if you are already here on F4W Online, please make sure you guys click that subscribe button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I believe we have now surpassed 82,000 something subscribers. Please make sure to go ahead and subscribe. If you're listening to the audio version of this, take some time. Head on over to youtube.com. Search us up, F4W Online, and bam, we will pop up. Click that subscribe button. You can also become a member. If you do become a member of the YouTube channel, you get all of this bonus exclusive content. Like, there is literally so much content going up on this channel every single day. So make sure that you guys click that subscribe button. And if it's not enough for you, you can become a member. But now let's go ahead and get into this Cameron Grimes promo. So Cameron Grimes, I love this vignette, actually. Really, really love this video package. Cameron Grimes recaps his 2021 year. He talks about his highs, he talks about his lows, and I like this because he did have a lot of highs and lows. Like, he came into a lot of money. He became a butler. He was cutting grass, which he talks about. He, becomes $1 million champion and all of this, right? So he has some highs and lows. I thought this was really good, and he basically just announces that, hey, for 2022, I'm going to be going after some gold. This was perfect. This was harmless. I enjoyed it. Sheldon Jackson sends in a super chat saying, Von Wagner to me is that zombie forever from that match. I can't take him seriously. Oh, yeah. I don't think I've seen Zombie Forever, but I'll take your word for it. Thank you so much to Sheldon. Hypo Bonic says, damn, Denise, rip to the Twitch homies. You know what? I don't see as many Twitch comments on this thing. Only a few pop up, and I just assumed that those were the ones that were coming in. If there's more, then I probably need to figure that out. So let me know, Twitch homies. Let's go ahead and continue on, guys. All right, let's see. Where are we at? All right, main event time. Hell yeah. All right, here we go, guys. This is it. I love this match. I freaking love this match so much. Oh, I was a big fan of it. I loved it. All right, I don't even know where to start. That's how excited I am. First of all, if you did not watch NXT 2.0 today, please, I implore you, I beg you, go watch Ciampa versus Bron Breakker. This match was very, very enjoyable. Freaking Tommaso Ciampa, man, he went out there and he just did so much. He made Braun Breaker, first of all, makes himself look good, all right? Like, let's get that settled. He makes himself look good. The guy's so intense. He moves at a certain speed that he could do the most basic thing ever, and that basic thing looks out of this world. Why? Because he does everything with such intensity, with a lot of speed, and everything he does is so precise and crisp and all of that good stuff. But with that being said, Tommaso Ciampa stepped it up, man. And Tommaso Ciampa's already up there, all right? And he went even more so than that. He really, really, you could tell, man, he worked so hard in this match to help Braun Breaker get to that next level. I don't know how to explain this, man. And one of the things that commentary was making sure to notice, and you noticed it too if you were watching this match, Tommaso Ciampa was pretty much bringing out like every single tool out of his bag of tricks that he can possibly bring out. He was going out there and just doing so much. So let's talk a little bit about this. So first and foremost, commercial free, no commercials. Thank goodness. I think that made this match even better, that we had no disturbances whatsoever. We had a really, really nice drop kick from Ciampa right at the top of this match, which looked really, really good. He did a really nice high knee straight to the face of Breaker, which was very impactful. We saw him do a twisting corkscrew plancha to the outside, which was just pretty exciting to see. Landed it perfectly. Very, very impressive. And then afterwards, we see over on the Braun Breaker side, there was this really cool moment where Braun Breaker literally does, he literally does he does a standing moonsault literally right onto Ciampa, and it looked really freaking nice, like really good. At one point, we see Tommaso Ciampa get busted open, and when Tommaso Ciampa starts bleeding, like it kind of goes to that next level where he really brings out like even more aggression. I don't even know how he got busted open, to be honest. We see a spear from Bron Breakker to Tommaso Ciampa. That was really cool too. There's also this moment where Breakker practically like slingshots Ciampa onto the commentary table. He picks him up, right? And you're thinking like, oh, he's gonna powerbomb him or something like that. But he kind of like slingshotted him and like tossed him into the table. I don't even know how to explain that. That was really good. Ciampa hits the fairy tale ending. Breakker kicks out of that. And then afterwards, we finally see Breakker. He hits a bulldog, and after the bulldog, he goes for the Steiner recliner, and Tommaso Ciampa taps out, and bam, we got a brand new NXT champion in Bron Breakker. This was really good, guys. Aggressive, really made Bron Breakker look like a star, and also Tommaso Ciampa, damn, he really just went out there and he did a lot. He did a lot, guys. How did you feel about this match? Go ahead and let us know. This one is from Taylor Cannon. Thank you so much to Taylor, who says, Braun and Ciampa have great in-ring chemistry. This was a very enjoyable match. It was. And it's like, even though I don't think we should see this match again soon, because it's like, it was good, right? So let's not, we've already seen it once before. Let's not overdo it. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind it just because this match was so good. Like, if let's say next week they said, we're having this match again, I would be like, oh, we probably shouldn't do that. But at the same time, this match was so good that I cannot complain. They're not doing it again, at least not next week or anything like that. But still, I'm just trying to get to the point that that match was freaking good. We got a super chat from Cadillac Carson. Thank you so much to Cadillac Carson, who says, had to save my super chat for the main event. Braun making Ciampa tap out is how you put over Braun over, because not too many people have made Ciampa tap out. That is true. And on top of that, like, he just made him look really freaking good throughout the entire match. And then to have such a definitive win the way that he did by making him tap out. I mean, if that doesn't introduce, the new top guy, I don't know what does. Now, as for Tamata Champa and where he goes from here, I don't know. But obviously, with the new direction of NXT 2.0, Bron Breakker is the guy. And now it's time for his era. It's time for his moment in the sun. And we'll see how it plays out. I'm excited to see what they do with Bron Breakker as champion. It's going to be a good time for sure. Thank you so much to Cadillac Carson for sending in this super chat. All right, let's go through a couple more comments here. And this one's from Nicholas Jacob, who says, there was a spot in the match where Braun Breaker hit a clothesline to Ciampa that looked just like how Rick Steiner used to do the clothesline to guys. I thought that was really cool. Oh, and we've been seeing that from the beginning. So many comparisons, obviously, given his lineage. But regardless, it's still like kind of like, oh, shoot. When you see it happen, it's still like hey, you still mark out, obviously. You still mark out. Michael Jefferson says, Tommaso has to move up to the main roster now. There's nothing left here for him. Sadly, the end of an era. Yeah, but see, that's the thing, man. Like, he should have been in the main roster a long time ago, and I would love Tommaso Ciampa on SmackDown, especially right now. We've been talking about how Roman Reigns has like pretty much no opponents on SmackDown. Can you imagine having Tommaso Ciampa there, doing something with Cesaro, with, all those guys down there, eventually working his way to Roman Reigns? He would be a great, incredible challenger for Roman Reigns, I think. But that's wishful hoping, really, or wishful thinking, rather. All right. This one's from Devin as well, who says, quote, he never will. He'll sooner retire, his own words. Well, we'll see. All right, guys, there you go. That was NXT 2.0 New Year's Evil. I hope you guys legitimately enjoyed the show, my post show, and I hope you enjoyed the show as well. Please let me know how you guys felt about it. You can tweet me if you're watching the show afterwards, if you're watching the show on replay or listening to the audio version. Please feel free to tweet me anytime. I'm always reading people's tweets. Even if I don't always get to respond, I see a lot. I'm always looking and seeing what is going on Twitter. A very, very fun timeline, to say the least. All right, guys. So please make sure you guys go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at _ Denise Salcedo. Please come back tomorrow for AEW Dynamite, the first TBS episode, the first Dynamite of 2022. We're going to have part 2 of Bryan Danielson versus Hangman Page, the finals of the TBS Women's Championship Tournament, and so much more. So make sure you guys come back for that. Other than that, I will see you guys next time. Goodbye, everybody.